Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, welcome back to Chris with the C. Hope you're all doing well, guys. So in the last video we have managed to get the rear diff case, the front diff case all back together. Not back together, built up with the shock towers and standoff on. We've also done the rear of the vehicle, managed to get the turnbuckles, the drive shafts in, basically everything's all set up there. Now we're going to move on to bag F, guys. Okay, so bag F essentially is now attaching the arms to the front differential case and obviously setting up the caster blocks and also hubs. So yeah, let's work through it. I want to say a massive thank you to everyone watching the videos at the moment as well. All the likes, shares and subscribes are going on the channel. I really do appreciate it, guys. This isn't a strict build tutorial, but obviously what I am trying to do is, as I'm going through the parts, as I'm building my own car, I want to talk about it and then essentially show you the process I go through when I'm building. Now, there are many build tutorials online that you can follow. Some of them are going to be a lot more in depth than what I'm doing. This is essentially my hobby, as you know. So I'm just here to enjoy the process and have a bit of fun and build the cars. I do apologise about any noise in the background as well, guys, okay, because I do wrench in my kitchen at the moment, but I'm waiting for a summer house to be built. Right, okay, so in this bag we've got, let's have a look, pivot balls. Really nicely made. I think these are titanium coated. We've also got some hinge pins, or pins to go through the up and bottom blocks. What else we got? Set screw by the look on thing, like we mentioned in the previous video. Another one of the hinge pins. We have got some wheel nuts, and also these. What are these? I'm not sure, but we'll find out in a moment. Okay. Drive shafts, well, I said CVAs, and also rod ends. So there's the fronts. Oh, I just mashed the top. There's the fronts. We'll put these over here. Rod ends we'll put in here. Like I basically set all my parts out as I'm going along, and then when I come to actually needing the parts, I know exactly where they are. Some washers, some screws, some pins. Right, I'm going to put all these in one place. So let's put all the nuts, all the screws in one place. I'm quite enjoying this build process, mind 110% about this. Some washers, so they can go by there as well. Some very small parts in here, I will say that. I've been working on 8 scales for a while, and it's unusual going back to using these smaller parts. Not that it's a problem, it's just it is unusual going back to using smaller parts. Bearings, hinge pins, and screws, mounting screws. Anything left in there? Nothing in there. So we'll put the bearings in there, and then screws. So this is all on bag F, guys, by the way. I know I mentioned it. Some hinge pins and hinge pin holders and turnbuckles, so I'll actually leave them a sec. And then obviously we've got the parts. So as I did with the last video, make sure you got a set of side cutters. I'm going to cut the parts off the tree. So there's one, and then if you need to, guys, what you can do, if there's a little bit of burr left on there, just carefully run your craft knife over. There's that. There's one there. That one's the same, so that's already off. Happy days. And then we got our caster blocks, I believe. Really is handy if you've got a pair of side cutters to hand as well, guys. Make sure you're careful with this knife. Safety first, brothers. Right, 2 caster blocks. Here's one. One there. One there. Get rid of the plastic, get rid of the rubbish. Okay, another caster block. And your hubs, so they're all there. And then my arms, as you can see, nice and stout again on the front. Really, really nice and stout. The webbing's absolutely awesome on there, so it really should be quite strong. One. So all I'm doing is just basically removing the burr. Like so, as you can see, just basic where the moulded parts have been put together, so nothing binds. Same again, just remove any burr. Lovely. Lovely, lovely. Right, okay, what's the first part? So first part, by the looks of things, is building up the front block. So we need a drive shaft. Let's have a look. Make sure I got this right. No, that's the wrong way around, so it's not that one. It is this one. And we put a bearing inside. And then a bearing on the outside. Drive shaft through. I love, honestly, one thing I'm noticing as I'm building this is just the quality of everything going together. There's no binding, no misalignments, no rubbing issues, or you get where I'm coming from. Everything just seems to go together nicely. Right, this thing goes on like. There you go, one, and then we put the pin in. So there. By where we to? There is a little grub screw that you're going to need to add in, and you're going to need a 1.5mm driver for that. I do apologise about any noise in the background, guys. Okay, and as I say, wrench in my kitchen at my table. Right, bit of Loctite. Don't need too much. Okay, remember, don't over tighten that too much, guys. Alright, because the last thing you want is not being able to get that off should you need to. Right, that's one part, that's done. Follow the process on the other side, do the same again, I believe, in a moment. Right, let's have a look, what's next? Caster block, let's build all this one up first, shall we? So this would be... Does it actually say? Hinge pin holder... Should be like... So that would be that side. Don't know if I've got this correct, mind, I'll be honest with you. No, that goes... Can I go like that? Yeah. That goes like that. That goes in there. Now, you got one pin that's long and one pin that's short. That's what we're saying on the diagram here. So it looks like to me that the shorter one goes on top. Yeah, and they do have, you won't be able to see this on camera, but it does tell you there's a little one right hand side, there's an R there, and then there's an R there on the caster block, just to tell you you're using the right ones. So this now needs to screw into, and I need a 2.5 for that. Now, I'm missing a step here, I think, because it's not actually screwing in. So what am I missing here? What am I missing? Right, I'm going to press pause on the camera. I'm just going to find out what I'm doing wrong here, because I have noticed there's nothing for it to bind into. So there's got to be some sort of collar for it to actually tighten into here. I'll be right back, guys, 2 seconds. Right, okay, got it. Okay, so the screws go in like so, and then you've got these little screws there that actually set it in place. So that you're going to need another 1.5, and it actually goes in between and tightens down on your screw. Which doesn't actually tighten up, mate, so I don't know what's going on there. Okay, well basically there's a little 1.5 screw that goes in there, and it's the same on each side. So use the longer screw at the bottom here, and then another one of these little 1.5 screws go into the hole there, and then tighten the two together. That's unusual. Okay, well apparently that's in. So yeah, That's confused me a little bit because it doesn't actually really tighten up properly. I thought it would actually, where you got the pin coming down, the screw would tighten up against it and actually stay there, but it doesn't seem to be coming out. What does it? Yeah, see, it comes out. Alright, okay, I need to look into this further. Unusual, bear with me. Okay, well, something to pick up on here, guys, and it doesn't actually show it in here. Okay, well, I've worked it out that these screws, the ones I've mentioned, that go in the top here, and look, learning curve, first time I've built a Tekno, so obviously I'm not going to know, but it doesn't actually show it on the manual. So I'm going to take these screws back out because there's these little screws there with holes in, and obviously that 1.5mm goes in there. You press it down, it goes flush, then you tighten your screw in. So, and that actually holds it all together. Look, these are actually flush on top, there's no button head. So, interesting. And you do have to line up this little flat edged area, so line the flat head up there. And don't over tighten. Okay, so that is all set in place. Happy days. I'm going to repeat the process with the other side and come back to you. Right, okay, so they're all both done up, guys, as you can see. No slack or play or anything like that. It really nice, moving freely, everything's fine there. I had to readjust the hex because it wasn't quite in enough on one. Same on this side. One thing I have noticed is I've actually forgotten to do the first part there. Is actually attach the arms, so we're going to quickly do that now. Let's move those out of the way. Right, so what do we need? Hinge pin holders are right here. Okay, so in this bag we have two hinge pins, two hinge pin holders and two turnbuckles. Okay, so facing the car away, looks like that. We need this one on the rear and it faces upwards, and then we need two button head screws, which probably TRK. I do like the fact that it refers, you can obviously then go and put the screw against it. So TKR 1445, which is that screw there. One there. And then one there. Two button head screws, as you can see. I'm just going to put them in now. Okay, so that's one. Then we're going with the arms. Apparently, let's have a look. If you look, the little triangle area there is facing towards the front of the car, is that right? Yeah, so like so. No, at the rear. Yeah, the rear. Okay, we put our hinge pins through. Apparently that's one. Is that in there? Yeah. And the other arm, slide our hinge pins through. And then our hinge pin holder on the front, like so. And then we use the little set screw that I mentioned. These are only temporary screws, the silver ones, and that's going to be holding the front on while we basically set the car up. And I believe these get replaced later on. Don't need to go mad on that. Turnbuckles can go over here. Okay, so we've got those. Now we're going to need to attach them to the car. Again, check they're all moving freely. So let's have a look. Says you. So if we're looking at it this way, get the right hand side. Again, check which ones you got. There are markings on this. This is the right. You put that in like that. Okay, yeah, that's fine. Right, and then there's a threaded hinge pin, and you put a nut each end. Like so. Grab two little nuts, we were misses, which are I believe these ones, the smaller ones out of the lot. One on one side, one on the other. Grab my two little T-keys. Really wish my tools would turn up in a hurry. I did order them from China and unfortunately they haven't actually come yet. So they were meant to be here 5 days ago, but you know it is. Unfortunately, sometimes things don't turn up when you want them to. I've ordered a set of Huddy drivers and they've not come yet, so there you go. That is all on. Make sure there's no binding there. Again, everything's moving up and down. That's absolutely fine. Repeat the process on the other side now. Like so. Sorry, like I said guys, I do apologise for the sound of the washing machine in the background. I might pause it in a moment just so you don't have to listen to it spinning. Bear with me. So we've now got the front steering blocks and caster blocks and drive shafts into the front assembly. We're going to move on to the next page, which we're going to flip over in a moment. I'm just going to move this part out of there, and I've got a feeling it's turnbuckles this time. Still on bag F. Yeah, your turnbuckles. Now, guys, you don't need to see this. Turnbuckles, easy way to follow it is obviously one is going to be lefty loosey, the other one's going to be righty tighty. Basically opposite threads on turnbuckles so they don't come apart when you're using them. Set of pliers, set of spanners, and if you've got a little bit of chapstick, it's handy to have, obviously, just to put them on. In fact, let me show you. Right guys, so little trick. As you can see, chapstick, it's actually my daughter's. If you just put a little touch on the end when you're putting your turnbuckles on, it actually helps threading it on. basically what happens is it stops it from something called pop-off, which is just like adding a little bit of grease. The turnbuckle. Take your time, patience is the key. So there's one. There you go, and the other one is started as well. So I'm just going to do these up now and then. I'm going to measure them there, guys. And I'm also going to put the pivot balls in. I'm not going to bore you with that. I have done it in the previous part of the video when we were putting the back together. So I'll come back to you now. Right, okay guys, so as you can see, the arms are on, turnbuckles are on. I didn't want to bore you with the turnbuckles. Just make sure you're following the kit spec on where to place the screws as well. So you go in the hole, second one in, and then what I did like about this is actually the screw, the nuts on the back are actually captured by the plastic themselves. So instead of relying on the nut, it's actually captured within the composite, so that's nice. But yeah, that's all moving nice and freely. Everything's good to go there. As I mentioned, make sure you, because it didn't actually show you that they were the ones with the holes in, the guide pins that go through the top of the caster block there. Yeah, all good, ready to rock. Let's have a look what's on the next. We're on to a different bag then. There you go, so we got steering assembly to put together now. So I think on the next video, that was bag F, guys, quite a big section of putting it together. I'm going to move on to bag G. I'm going to end this video, so obviously you've got videos to follow, and stay awesome guys. Thank you very much for watching this. I'm thoroughly enjoying this build process. We've got the front and the rear all ready to rock and roll, like so. So we're now just working on the internal side parts, e.g. we've got a bell crank to put together now, and then I think we should be moving slowly on to the chassis. So I'm quite excited about this, really looking forward to finishing this off. But let me know in the comments what you think. Do you like the idea of a kit build? Is this something you're interested in? Would it be something that you want to do in the future? I don't know, you tell me. Let me know in the comments guys. Massive thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video, which will be bag G. Stay awesome guys.